Hello and welcome, dear viewers, to a brand new episode of your show, The Untold. My name is Daij Al-Hoteri, joined by my colleague, Heba Al-Qahtani. How are we doing today?
Well, we're doing really great, and hopefully, everyone is really excited to know more about today's episode and especially what we, of course, have when it comes into our guests.
Yep, definitely. So today it's all about sport, I guess. So it's going to be interesting. I'm into sport, and definitely more information, more knowledge means more, progress and successful life and the sports life and gym life after all. So basically, can't wait to meet our guest today.
Yes, our guest is going to be Saad AlHazzaa, and we're going to know more about him, more about his career and the things that he actually chose. So hopefully, everyone is really eager to know more about him after this break. And now we're really happy to welcome our guest, Saad AlHazzaa. We're really happy to have you here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate really having me over here. I hope I'll be a good additive, in your show. Thank you.
Hopefully, even the audience will learn more, because when we're talking more about your profession, dealing with people, dealing with gym, being a fitness coach, let's say, in that matter of sense, is something very challenging. We've seen so many people, especially the ones who always complain that we don't have time, making excuse even when they come late for the class. For instance, they always like, it was crowded, I couldn't come out, let's say, earlier, and so on. So many things that could happen within the concept itself. So we would like to know more about the beginnings. Why did you choose this, let's say, as a profession?
Well, to begin with, actually, I've been into sports for, let's say, since I was in young age. I started in, to be honest, in a totally different sport, actually. And I did equestrian, for show jumping, where actually, with horses and stuff.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I stopped because of, studying abroad and other life circumstances. When I started actually this sport, I was introduced to something actually I was really, really into it, which is the discipline. And a great sport actually. And it makes you, feel the pleasure actually of while doing the sport. It depends from a different person to a different person. So what makes me started this again it was just the passion, basically. Yeah.
And I believe that especially when we go and study abroad, it's always, let's say, more of a way for us to discover ourselves again. And if you're a person that you're really connected to sport and like to work out, so immediately you're going to find any kind of, let's say, a great sport that really indicates that you could actually achieve something and also continue ongoing. Because as a fitness person, you always like to be fit, you always like to be healthy, and thinking about that. So when it comes into, let's say, having that said within the times, especially talking more about back in the days, being a student and trying to find the correct and right sport for you. Tell us about these challenges, because we do have students, and yet again, they go to the gym, and maybe sometimes their parent always tell them that you don't have time. You always have to, let's say, for instance, study. If you're studying a very heavy field, we don't see you a lot because the gym is being there in the schedule. So tell us more about that.
Correct. Well, let's start with, the different type of people. Let's say, and ages. Since you mentioned the students, I was a student myself. Time management is a key. I believe, and also maybe the audience actually know, like time management in such a young age is quite hard. And but at least if you know how to manage the hours actually through your day, definitely can make it. There's no excuse. I believe time is the key. So other than this, nutrition and the social responsibilities also will be a challenge as well. And definitely keeping yourself disciplined especially in that field.
Field, yes.
Yes, because it's not, let's say, an instant change.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you take it as a lifestyle.
Yes.
So this is what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the main key challenges, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, having that said, to be honest, like talking more about my experience, like
Yes.
I really committed to go to the gym and try to be, let's say, fit was in 2018,
Right.
which is not really long time ago. Like I used to go and work out and stuff, but when I was really committed was in 2018. And what motivated me is so I can eat as much as I can.
Oh, yes.
So this was my
Definitely,
motivation.
Yes.
Like I go to the gym, I work out, I lose a lot of calories. In order for me, if I go and had a junky meal, I won't
Yeah.
feel guilty
Yes,
about it.
yes.
So when it comes into motivation, I'm very sure it's really different from person to another.
Yeah.
So when it comes into your own motivation, like what motivated you today in order for you to continue in this, let's say, path and continue into your commitment?
First of all, continuing as, let's say, coaching. The first thing comes up to my mind is being pride, actually, from the results I see. Also the social connections. This is something who like motivates me. Uh, and like deep down, I'm a goal-oriented person, so I can see the big picture. So achieving a goal is one thing, and also, you know, being a part of a transformation process gives me fulfillment, actually. So that what keeps me going, and that's what keeps me, being hungry for more of that feeling. Yeah.
Which is something very great to be
It
honest.
is
Yeah.
actually, if interests you in some way, definitely you get pleasure out of this.
Yes,
really.
indeed. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. And the most important thing is to always have that passion.
Yes.
And to do something that you actually love. Because if you don't love what you do, you're not going to give it the full and 100, let's say, percent commitment.
Correct.
And this is something very important to emphasize on. So I'm very sure when it comes into the progression that you actually see and all the progress that you see through the clients, the members, and even when it comes into, of course, being part of this great journey, it's something very great. But yet again, dealing with different personalities, dealing with different members is something also challenging and difficult.
Correct.
Because though they always say that, let's say, workout is different for women and men, men can, let's say, handle more pressure. But yet again, they're humans, therefore there are, let's say, some limits for each one. So
Definitely.
do tell us about this kind of,
Yeah,
let's
sure,
say,
sure.
experience.
Regarding the types of people, actually, since we are talking here, we're talking about the managerial part of being a coach, actually. So it's like being a manager, or a head of section or something. Is how to know the people depends on their characteristics. For example, I'm talking about shape, I'm talking about age, about gender, about their physical activities through the day. And what comes into my mind as well is there's two type of people. There are visual people and the audio people. So it depends on what kind of person he is. So you shape the program, and you shape basically the transformation process for him. So it's let's say it's a very unique journey for everyone. I recommend not to compare it to anyone else, because it's the best thing actually when you have your own unique journey.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So I'm very sure when it comes into your, let's say, journey itself, that you've dealt with many ups and downs and so many challenges that faced you to reach towards your goals. So do share with us some of these kind of challenges or difficulties that actually faced you.
Oh, yes. In every sport, even in life itself, you have ups and downs. So one of the challenges is actually when you go with your friends and you are on extreme diet and they are ordering food, so you cannot eat. This is one of, like, everyone is facing,
yeah.
basically. Yes. But one of the big challenges as well is when you, see people are stubborn. Even if they want the change, but they really don't want it, at the deep down. So basically you have to work through their mind,
Yes.
actually, just to convince them in a way like you need the change. This is how we do it, and you have to commit to it. So this is one of the challenges as well. Uh, Other challenges being in this journey actually is to be, to provide actually, the nutritions that you require. Also, finding the time, the suitable time, and just the commitment. This is like the key
The
for
key.
the commitment, because it's let's say it takes years. Actually, it doesn't take like a day or two or a month.
Right.
So yeah, time is key challenge as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, indeed. So, one of the things that I faced during, let's say, having this commitment to go to the gym and work out is trying to, let's say, face yourself. Because people are stubborn, and especially for the person who is actually working out. Like, once you feel tired, you don't want to do something more. Like, this is my limit, I don't want to exceed. So, I remember I was crying on the rowing machine. They told me to do 1,000, I think, meter by rowing, and to me the number was really big, and I was, let's say, pulling myself and trying to row, and it was very difficult, but yet the coach was really stubborn than me, and she was like, you're going to finish the meters. And
Yes,
once
yes.
I did it, I really feel, let's say, felt like I did something very great, which is something that I didn't think I would do, and now it's a piece of cake, let's say, within
Yeah,
the
yeah,
years.
yeah. Correct,
So
correct.
having that said, I'm very sure for you, you do have a story to, let's say, tell us more about, let's say, a transformation that you actually had for your client or a member. And we're going to know more about that, of course. But dear viewers, we're going to head to our first break, and then we'll be back. And we are back, dear viewers, with our guests. So we were talking previously before the break that I'm very sure there's a certain moment or story you'd like to share regarding your members or clients when it comes into their great transformation.
Oh yes, I have one actually good story. Before I started this, let's say, career or professional, I was just doing it for my friends. So one of my friends, he weighed around 110 kgs at that time. It was okay. We were young and it was fun. Always eating, always ordering food. So at one certain point, I was doing, started taking, taking this seriously. So I convinced him in a way, by force. So yeah, we
The
stayed.
law of friendship, they say.
Oh yes,
Yes.
definitely, definitely. So by force, actually, we stayed together. I mean, let's say 6 months. Uh, Being in a very committed environment, where everyone is on diet, so no one is ordering food. Even it was like a supportive group actually. We focused on that guy especially, and after 6 months, he lost around 30 kgs. Yeah, so yeah, from 110 to like an 80, 82, which is very, very good within 6 months. But it was an extreme process. After seeing this, an idea just came into my mind. I say, why not to push it a little further, and maybe I can share this information with everyone, even not just the circle of my friends. Maybe I can go like even more. So yeah, this is one of the transformation stories I have. Yeah.
Well, that's really great because it has two great sides. One of your friends did actually become, let's say, became healthier, and you had, let's say, more of a career for you, where you could actually even expand
Yes.
to different kind of people who actually do need help and do need, let's say, a person to push them when it comes into being healthy and giving them the support itself. Being, let's say, dealing with these sport of body builders or bodybuilding is something that has a very different, let's say, consumption, people would think and immediately say that bodybuilding, that means it's just about heavy, let's say, weightlifting, and that's it.
Yes.
There is no, let's say, expand to it. So do tell us more about the sport. Elaborate more about the, let's say, wrong conceptions and the right conceptions when it comes into it.
Right. There's a lot of misconceptions actually in this, especially, but in particularly in this sport. Uh, everyone, everyone is considering bodybuilding is lifting anything, basically. The sports are different. We have CrossFit, we have calisthenics, we have bodybuilding, and bodybuilding actually goes into so many categories. So segregating those sports is one of the misconceptions. Bodybuilding is not CrossFit. CrossFit is not bodybuilding. This is one of the things. But if I can concentrate on bodybuilding, one of the misconceptions is you have to eat a lot of protein to gain muscles. It means, I mean, a lot, a lot. This is a misconception. The reality is basically you don't need much. There is a calculation actually you have to do, which is 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per your weight in pounds. So it is a calculation, a very simple calculation. You can do it yourself. Whatever the intake is, whatever is your workout, you will get the outcome. So this is one of the misconceptions. The other misconception, which is mainly everyone thinking about, is the use of performance enhanced substances, or I can say steroids. I don't know if I can say it, but yes, it is not really a necessity. Nowadays we have a lot of natural players actually who are competing very challenging in a very challenging environment actually doing this. I understand you've seen a lot of professional actually abusing those performance enhancement substances, but this is a misconception. Not everyone is using this. Another misconception is bodybuilders don't do cardio. This is they just lift heavy
Yes.
and they don't do cardio. Actually, cardio is one of the essential things to do while doing bodybuilding, because actually it helps in losing fat. It helps in your cardiovascular energy. It helps a lot. It helps a lot, basically. So those are the main three. I can go more, but I
Yeah.
mean it's gonna be
A long list,
a
okay.
long story. Yes.
So indeed, we do really see, especially when it comes into talking about the elderlies, if we're talking about parents themselves, it's something that they immediately relate to once we're talking more about bodybuilding. And also, again, aside to the person themselves, it's like we don't need a coach. We can go to the gym and that's it. We can just say lift as many weight as we can, and then that's it. We're going to have big muscles and we can be, let's say, healthier. But it's really difficult and different, and it really need precautions, because if you let's say took any weight and just lift it wrongly, not correctly, within the right position, then you're going to have different kind of injuries when it comes into the sport itself in general, of course. But when it comes into the specific, let's say, sport, there are injuries regarding lifting and regarding, let's say, exceeding the workout and exercise. Like, is it really true that actually happens?
Yeah, see, injuries is present in every sport actually. So it depends for runners, for football players, for whatever you can mention the sport. So what I suggest for, let's say, new beginners, someone who never went to a gym, at least he should get consultation on this, because technique is key. Because it depends on what kind of muscle you're moving. So if I'm lifting something and I'm moving another muscle, which is I'm not intended to, I might reach to a point where you mentioned that I might have an injury.
Right.
So knowing the sport before doing the sport is key factor. Also, why reinventing the wheel if someone actually knows and he got the experience? I'm not saying like you have to get a coach, but at least you can be more knowledgeable about the sport, and you can see, especially nowadays, the internet is wide, and you can get the information just from a click. So I understand sometimes it might be, you know, intimidating to get the new information from and gathering and doing the research, but I really recommend everyone actually to get the correct knowledge to be taught, and then start the gym.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, indeed. And to be honest, like I did had an experience, let's say, regarding the injury, which was something. It was like, let's say, the first time ever in my life, which is
Yeah.
really scary moment that I
Yeah.
had, is that, and it was even before going back to work, before it a day, which really terrified me a lot. I was like, did I made an injury? Am I going to, let's say, be disabled? I will not walk again. And it was just a knee injury. And let's say, talking more about it, it was, let's say, the knee that was locked. And then once it got unlocked, it immediately felt like there is nothing wrong.
Yes.
And it's really terrifying moment, because a person would always feel and think that they're healthier.
Yeah.
We're young. We're not going to feel that we're going to have any kind of injury. And then voila, you have an injury
Yes,
out of a
exactly.
sudden. So it's very important to always keep in mind that a coach is there to assist you, to help you, and to always try to avoid any kind of injury that could actually happen for you,
Correct.
whether it's for the future and so on.
Correct.
So one of the challenging things is having the internet and having varieties of, let's say, expertise and different kind of information. So one of the things I'm very sure the members of the gym, or let's say your clients, could actually come up with a video and show you, for instance, a training
Yes,
session, and tell you,
yes.
you know what, can we do this, can we do that, and stuff like that. So tell us about these kind of, let's say, expertise when it comes into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
website.
Okay. So, you know, I would say the gym members or the clients actually they have doubts. Definitely, they have doubts. So, and I like when people actually have doubts and they ask about things. For example, their progress, or what different type of exercises, and what is fit for them and what is not. Because actually, it gives them a story, so they build it in their minds, so that's why they keep going. Actually, it sometimes it motivates people, you know, when they are into this. Definitely they will spend the time, they spend the effort, and that will make them committed to definitely when I deal with people actually, you know, doubting a lot, it makes me happy. And when I explain it again and answers their
Yes.
questions, and they do it and physically,
Yes.
definitely that's gonna be something amazing. I mean,
Yeah, totally,
yeah,
totally agree.
yes.
Yes.
Better than, you know, just taking an advice from someone who's not, let's say, professional or so, and do it in lifetime, and then they might, you know, get injured. So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, indeed. So one of the most important thing when it comes into, let's say, having a great workout and having great result is having a great mindset. So when it comes into trying to have a, let's say, a healthy mindset for your members and client must be something very important. So do tell us more about the process or things that you actually do in order for them to be, and let's say, clearly about the workout, because sometimes due to a heavy duty that we have in hectic life, we come to the gym unfocusedly, that we don't think about the workout, or we just do the workout without thinking about the muscles, the movement, and so on. So it's very important to have our mindset within the class itself, within the workout itself.
Right. I mentioned this is a journey for the clients. So being in such a journey, actually, you have to build it from the beginning. So if you build for a fitness trainer, he needs to build a trust and be, let's say, there for his clients. So definitely, once you build that and you keep progressing in this, you will definitely know how your client is behaving actually. So for example, as you mentioned, someone is hectic, he got, like, you know, work to do, and he got responsibilities. Definitely he will not be having time. So knowing your client, basically you will adopt his circumstances in a way, so he can actually achieve within his work frame. So, and with his time frame as well. So depending on whatever is his behavior, his mood, based on that, you will create something that will work for him directly.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
So
just
it is, let's say, it is adjustable. It's not fixed. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2. No, it is actually, it depends on you, and based on you and what is your life, I can build the workout
Yes.
and the exercises and even the duration. Sometimes some people they don't have time. They have like 45 minutes. Okay, what to do within 45 minutes? So this is just like a quick
I mean, you
example.
could do a lot of workout in 1 minute.
Oh, you
I
can,
mean,
you
I
can
mean, having a
definitely.
blank hold for 1 minute is like really
Yeah, definitely,
terrifying.
definitely.
Yes.
So within this time frame is depends. It depends on you basically. Yes.
Yes. So the most important thing is a person could believe in themselves and always have trust that we could achieve something,
Yes.
and we can do better when it comes into our daily, let's say, life routine and such.
Yes.
So one of the challenging things I'm very sure that also you faced during your career is let's say the idea of people thinking that anybody could be a coach, not thinking about the commitment, not thinking about how heavy the work is, not thinking about all of the details that you actually do to plan the workout, to
Yes.
plan the day, to plan, let's say, dealing with your, let's say, gym members and so on. So when it comes into that, do you believe in the concept that if you are a good, let's say, trainer, you could be a good coach, or you think that this is something could be within the person himself?
Well, I will ask you one question. You've been a student before, right?
Right.
Are you a teacher?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
No.
it depends. I mean, like, yes, if all of us are students, but we cannot be all like we cannot be teachers,
Yes.
right? So for a teacher, for a manager, he got to have some characteristics,
Right.
some skills actually.
Right.
So, for example, team building, time management, all those skills.
Patience.
Patience, yeah,
Patience is
definitely.
number one.
Yeah, it is, it is. So,
Yes.
definitely, it's going to be selective.
Right.
This is a selective career.
I
let's
totally
say.
agree with
Yes.
you on that.
And you can get it in either way, like from experience and also from studying the thing, studying
Right.
the sport itself. So I like, for example, when I see a coach, actually, he got the experience and also to back it up with science.
Right.
Yes. So
Yes.
basically, one theoretical, one practical. So
Yeah.
this is the best, let's say, equation to go with this. But yeah, definitely, if you combine those two, you will have a great coach. And answering your question, no, not everyone can be a coach.
I totally agree with you
not
on that.
not
Yeah.
everyone. So it is, yeah, it is something. You need to bear a lot of things. Like sometimes you have to be positive all the time.
Yes.
A lot of people, as you mentioned, they have trouble in their lives. They might just be, starving for food. So they will just throw, their energy to you. So
Right.
basically, you have to be the cushion, and you have to be, the positive side of their life.
Right.
Actually, yeah. So yeah. this
Yeah,
is what
I
believe.
totally agree with you on
Yes.
that. And in the end, I mean, this is something very important to always look at the things through the brighter side, always be positive and have all of the great energy. Remember that when you work out, when we go to the gym, there are a lot of people who are really caring, especially when it comes into our
Ah, yes,
coaches. And of
yes,
course,
yes.
when it comes into for you being, let's say, responsible and believing in yourself. Thank you very much for being our guest today.
No worries,
It
no
was
worries.
really
Thank
an
you very
honor
much.
having you here.
Thank you very much. And I'll just send my regards to you and to the crew. And thank you very much for having me.
So thank you very much for being our guest. It was really honor having you here, and I'm very sure all our audience did enjoy, of course, our episode and all of the things that you provided. So please, dear viewers, join us for the wrap up.
All right, that was the end, dear viewers. We hope you enjoyed this one. It was a beautiful interview.
Yes, indeed. And it's very interesting to always, choose a career that you really love, choose something that you're really passionate about.
Yes.
I know sport is something very healthy and very interesting, but at the same time, I mean, in the end, it's something that you're really passionate of, where you're going to flourish and present yourself very well.
Yep. Remember, keep going. And yes, there you have it. That was it. See you again, hopefully, in the next episode of The Untold. Goodbye.